Welcome back to my channel, folks. It's Randy Seltzer here. And before we get started, I just want to remind you, if you like this video today, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing if you'd like to get more information like this. Today, we're doing a special episode about the Canadian election that's coming up in a week's time, less than a week's time. And I thought it might be interesting to talk a little bit about the four major parties in Canada and what their platforms are, what they've announced pertaining to real estate. So let's take a look at them now. First of all, the Liberal Party recently put out their brief talking about real estate, and the Liberal Party has put together a three-part platform. The first part concerns supply of housing in the country. The Liberals are promising to build 100,000 new homes over the course of their mandate. They're saying they're going to build 100,000 new homes. They're going to spend $2.7 billion on affordable housing. And the second part of their platform is concerning consumer rights in the real estate process. Some of the things that they're talking about doing is they're going to do a 2-year ban on foreigners buying real estate in Canada for 2 years. They're going to have a 1% tax on vacant properties that are owned by foreigners. They are going to strengthen oversight on money laundering. They are proposing a tax on flipping houses. This is something I don't understand. What I read is that if someone buys a house and flips it within 12 months, they'd be charged a tax. I don't quite understand how that would work for people who like to buy fixer-uppers, and then they proceed to fix them up and then flip them within a year. Apparently, there would be an extra tax to pay if you sell it within 12 months. They are also proposing to create a home buyer's bill of rights, and there'll be several components to this. The biggest one, and it's the most controversial one right now with the real estate board, is they want to ban blind bidding in bidding wars. Today, when you're in a bidding war, you make your offer, but you don't know what the other people are bidding. The Liberals want to end that and make it transparent for everyone. And while I can see the benefit for the buyers, I don't think it's going to particularly serve the seller's best interests, where everything is open and there's not really any bidding taking place, where everyone can see everyone else's offer. The Liberals are also proposing several features. They want to double the first-time buyer's tax break. They want to slash CMHC fees, the fees that a person pays to either CMHC or Genworth or any of the other mortgage insurers. They want to slash those fees by 25%. And I welcome that. I think that's a great idea. They also want to they announced they want to set up a rent-to-own program. No details were provided, which is interesting. We just did a video on rent-to-own. And so it remains to be seen, though, what the details are on that Liberal program. They're also proposing a sort of a combination between a TFSA and an RSP, where first-time buyers could save up to $40,000 and not have to pay tax when they withdraw that money to purchase their first home. Next, we move on to the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party also has a platform which consists of several parts. The first part is their focus on increasing housing supply. I've often said that the problems we have today are a simple imbalance of supply versus demand. We don't have enough supply, and there's too much demand for real estate, and that's what's driving the prices so high. So here's what the Conservatives are planning to do. The Conservatives are planning to build 1 million new homes during the course of their mandate. 1 million new homes across Canada. They also are proposing to build transit to serve those communities, and they're going to promote development along those transit corridors. Makes perfect sense to me, especially in a big urban area like the GTA. The Conservatives are also proposing, this is something I didn't know, the Government of Canada is actually the largest landowner in the country. They own more property than anyone else in the entire country. So the Conservatives are proposing that they sell off portions of that to make it designated for additional housing. Not a bad idea. The Conservatives are also proposing to crack down on money laundering. This seems to be the catchphrase these days, although I'm not sure that is the primary cause of our high prices. They want to strengthen FinTrack and some of the powers that the police have to try to track down international money launderers when it comes to purchasing real estate in Canada. Not a bad idea. And they, again, same as the Liberals, are proposing to ban foreigners from purchasing property in Canada for a period of 2 years. They're saying that after 2 years, they will review it and see where they go from there. However, the Conservatives are also saying that they want to allow foreigners to purchase purpose-built rental buildings. Again, not a bad idea. If someone from a different country wants to buy an apartment building that's being built, purpose-built for rentals, let them buy it, let them make their investment and let it get built. The next part of the conservative platform is to make mortgages more affordable. They have several good ideas, actually. They want to bring back, or they want to bring into Canada. Right now, we have a 5-year mortgage term for interest rates, which is the maximum term that you can get today. They want to increase that up to 7 and up to 10 years. So that's actually not a bad idea for someone who wants to lock in the current ultra-low interest rates and make sure that they have their payments managed for up to 10 years. The Conservatives are also proposing to remove, a lot of people don't know, we've all heard of the stress test, the fact that the banks need to approve you at a higher rate of interest than you're actually going to be paying when you're buying a house. But a lot of people don't know that when it comes time to renew your mortgage, if you decide to switch banks at that point, you also have to qualify at the higher stress test rate. And the Conservatives are proposing to eliminate that. I think it's a fine idea. The next thing they're proposing is to increase the availability of mortgage insurance. We touched upon it briefly. You talk about CMHC or Genworth or a couple of others that provide mortgage insurance when you have less than 20% to put down on the house. And right now, that is currently capped at $1 million. And as we all know, and so anything over $1 million, you can't get mortgage insurance. You must have the 20% down. The Conservatives are proposing to tweak that up a little bit, maybe to $1.25 million, so that you can still you would be able to get mortgage insurance for houses that are priced over $1 million. And then we move on to the NDP, the New Democratic Party. They also have a platform on real estate, and theirs has 4 sections. The first focus for them is that they want to increase affordable housing across the country. I'm sure that's a noble cause. A lot of people can't afford regular house prices, so the NDP, that's the primary thing in their platform, to increase affordable housing across Canada. They're also proposing to build 500,000 affordable homes during the course of their next 4-year term. And the NDP want to speed up applications for co-ops, social assistance, and nonprofit housing. The NDP also want to target big money foreign investors. They are also proposing a 20% foreign buyers tax, so it's a little different than the outright ban that the other 2 parties are proposing. And they also want to strengthen the police powers against money laundering for international money launderers. The NDP are proposing that the overall term for mortgages, the amortization limit, be increased up to 30 years. I think that's a terrific idea to help people lower their payments. And they want to double the existing current tax credit for first-time buyers up to $1,500. It's a small item, but everything counts. And they also want to facilitate co-ownership agreements. That's a thing that we're hearing more and more lately, when 2 people have to pool together to buy a house. Not a husband and wife, but 2 friends or two people who know each other, where they pool together in a co-ownership arrangement to purchase a house that otherwise neither could qualify for on their own. And the NDP are big on climate control and green initiatives. They want to retrofit all existing buildings in Canada, both residential and commercial. They want to retrofit them to the new green standards by the year 2050. They want to provide low-interest loans for energy efficiency projects. And their last thing is they want to make sure that all Canadians have access to high-speed broadband. That's not really a real estate issue, and I can't imagine not having high-speed broadband, but I guess there are some places in Canada that don't have it yet. Finally, the 4th national Canadian party is the Green Party, and they also have some initiatives that they are proposing for their platform. They want to make sure that 300,000 affordable living units are built over the course of their term. They're proposing new regulations against foreign investment in Canada, although they haven't specified exactly what they would be. They also want to propose an empty home tax or a vacant house tax, which the other parties have also addressed a little more specifically. Most interestingly, they're proposing that 1% of the current GST is applied towards housing and infrastructure. I think that's a great idea. And they're also proposing a green retrofit program without many details to really flesh out what that means. And that's a summary of the 4 parties in Canada. Our election is next Monday. And it's very interesting to see that they're all sort of in sync about certain initiatives. It seems to me that the foreign buyer tax is definitely going to happen. Probably a vacant home tax is going to happen. There's 2 elephants in the room that are not mentioned by any of the parties, and that is the current immigration levels into Canada, which are going to be very high over the next few years. Nobody seems to want to touch that. I suppose it touches upon other departments, other issues that are not specifically connected to housing. And also the overall rate of interest, the interest rates that are out there. One way to slow down the market for sure would be to raise interest rates. But of course, that can create a lot of hardship and problems in the rest of the economy, Canadian businesses, a potential rise of the Canadian dollar, which would also hurt business. So that's not been even mentioned by any of the parties. But there you have it. We'll all be going to the polls in the next few days, and I hope you found this informative. Once again, if you like the channel, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, we got an election coming up in a few days, folks. Tell me what you think. Do you think the green initiatives being proposed by the NDP and the Green Party are worthy? Should we be following these? What about the foreign buyer tax? Is this a kind of a foreign boogeyman that we're trying to blame for our problems? Is it even necessary? What about tightening up what we call FinTrack, which is financial tracking against money laundering? Is it really necessary? Anyways, if you have any thoughts, just put them down and we will definitely get back to you. Thank you again for watching my video today. Welcome back to my channel, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Take care and have a good day.